Zambia relations. Zambia was the first country in Southern Africa to establish diplomatic relations with China, and the two countries have enjoyed a long-standing tradition of friendship. This solid and friendly relationship was forged by our founding fathers, Chairman Mao Zedong and President Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. And in the year 2023, President Hichilema paid a successful state visit to China and together with President Xi Jinping announced the elevation of China-Zambia relations to a comprehensive strategic and cooperative partnership. In the year 2024, the two presidents met again at the Forum of China-Africa Cooperation, Beijing Summit. Guided by the important consensus reached by two heads of state, the political mutual trust has continued to grow, and the fruits of mutually beneficial cooperation have become increasingly abundant, bringing China-Zambia relations to a historic high. The high level of bilateral relations have provided a solid foundation and important guarantee for practical cooperation, including this solar plant. Ladies and gentlemen, the power and energy cooperation is an important part of the practical cooperation between the two countries. As Mr. President once said, Zambia was largely dependent on hydropower. We need to take every opportunity to diversify energy mix. Mr. President, we have always kept in mind your ambitious goal for the 1,000 megawatts electricity generation from solar energy by the end of 2025. And we are very proud to make some contribution to this great ambition. To conclude, I would like to extend my sincere congratulations on the successful commissioning of Zambia's largest solar plant. And I wish that the friendship between our two countries continues to develop, and I'm expecting more and more successful outcome of bilateral cooperation in various fields. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we shall now be treated to some celebratory song and dance by the Kulamba Kuvalo Cultural Group, who shall help us to celebrate this momentous occasion. Kulamba Kuvalo Cultural Group, you have 3 minutes.
Anatwala
Thank you to the Kulamba Kuvalo Cultural Group showing their appreciation and being recognized and being given appreciation. To their Royal Highnesses, as well as various Thank you, Kuvalo. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we now welcome to the podium the Minister of Energy, Honorable Makozo Chikote, MP. Honorable Makozo Chikote, MP.
The height. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. The President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, their Royal Highnesses, all of you, my colleagues, cabinet ministers, the provincial minister, members of parliament that are present. Due to interest of time, Mr. President, allow me to ride on the protocols that have already been established. Mr. President, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is both my honor and privilege for me to stand before you today at this commissioning of the 100 megawatts Chisamba Solar PV project. As a Minister of Energy, I am overjoyed and more than convinced that this project will change Zambia's energy landscape for generations to come, and thanks for your good leadership, Mr. President. These projects that we are seeing, they have come with the good leadership that the President is providing. Mr. President, this occasion is a step forward, and today we are actualization of your directives of delivering the 1,000 megawatts of solar PV projects by December 2025. Mr. President, as the saying goes, A journey of 1,000 kilometers begins with one step, and Chisamba Solar PV is our one step towards 1,000 megawatts. Mr. President, under your guidance, the Ministry of Energy will continue to facilitate accelerated development of more power projects such as this one in order to ensure that your vision of ensuring universal access to electricity for all our citizens is achieved by the year 2030. I want to assure you, Mr. President, and the nation at large, that the Ministry of Energy will continue everything possible to ensure that all bottlenecks in approving processes during the project development are addressed in order to facilitate more investment in the energy sector. Mr. President, under your able leadership, we have adopted policies and reforms in which the energy sector, such as open access and net metering, in order to attract more private investment in the sector. With these reforms, I believe that we are on the right path to secure Zambia's energy future. Mr. President, these policies are the ones which are driving to what we have received today in Zambia. You can only see this project being implemented is because of the good leadership and the guidance the President is providing. The vision is the one which provides these reforms. Hence, when this government took over quickly, because of the vision that we have for this country, we had to look at the reforms and the policies. And today, we have moved a step forward towards 1,000 megawatts. Mr. President, as I conclude, because this is your show, allow me, Mr. President, once again, to thank you for your steadfast leadership in unlocking and delivering these projects. As you have heard from the MD, Mr. President, you will continue commissioning these projects as we try to achieve our target of 1,000 megawatts. Allow me also to thank everyone present here for your collective efforts to this project. And I look forward to witness more solar projects that we have put in the pipeline for 2025. Mr. President and the people of this nation, this is where our focus must be. We must avoid to listen to the noisemakers. We have so many noisemakers other than focusing on what we are supposed to do for our country to drive our economic growth. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, join me as I raise the Republican President to the podium to deliver his keynote speech. Mr. President, it is now my honor and privilege to welcome you to deliver your keynote speech. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Minister of Energy. I recognize you and your colleagues, our colleagues, cabinet ministers and provincial minister, and members of parliament represented by the local member of parliament, area member of parliament, Madam Cassandra. I also want to recognize all our traditional leaders that are here through the host chief Bamwami Bachamuka, with all of your colleagues that have traveled within the province, from within the province, to be in attendance today at this very important function, very, very important function. I want to recognize also our civic leaders, council chairpersons, first members of parliament, council chairpersons, as I said, members of parliament through the local area MP, but also councillors, and indeed other governmental workers, permanent secretaries that are here in no particular order. I must also acknowledge the business leaders that are present, starting with the ZESCO and Kariba North Bank Extension, your management, chief executive, and the boards of the two organizations. I want to acknowledge also the presence of the former ZESCO managing directors. Very nice to see you here. Some of these projects were started or were taken forward by yourselves, and we build on that basis because these businesses are living things. They have continuity. I must also acknowledge the Stanbic chief executive who is here, and your team, Power China, the embassy of China to Zambia. And I must also acknowledge, honestly speaking, the Chisamba community. The Chisamba community who have done a great job to accommodate the development that we are officiating today. Sometimes local communities resist development projects, but this community here, through Chief Chamuka, accommodated the project. Mwami Twalumba, abantu bonse bakokuno. Twalumba abumbi mwami. I must also acknowledge members of the press that are present. Ladies and gentlemen, let me put things the way I would love them to be said, because that's a choice I make on occasions like this. We as a government, once we took office 3 years, 10 months ago, although sometimes it feels like we've been around 10 years, we've only been around 3 years, 10 months. We haven't done 4 years yet. We took a decision based on the manifesto that we sold to the people of Zambia when we were seeking public office. We took a clear, visionary approach to reconstructing our country's economy as a major priority. I'll return to this a little bit, but we knew that to do this, to achieve that vision, we needed to restore law and order in the country. The rule of law, very important. We needed to bring normalcy to our society in the streets, bus stops, markets. To bring normalcy, meaning that life needed to be brought back to what you call ordinary, and not difficult conditions where streets, bus stops, markets were places of regular fights, bloodletting. That environment is not good for business, it's not good for our citizens. So we decided to bring control and orderliness in those areas. We also took a decision that we could not achieve our economic reconstruction development vision, growth and more growth, without dealing with a debt burden. So we decided to work on the debt restructuring as a priority, as an anchor to building an environment that would allow us to drive the economic and social development agenda. And we worked very hard. And so far, we are still just about one or very few countries on the continent that have achieved debt restructuring. And we want to thank our partners who have allowed us to achieve, working with them, to debt restructure, to create an opportunity, headroom for us to do projects like these as we march towards our economic development agenda. Growth and growth and more growth. We also took a decision that we have to reorganize the mining sector, which sector was anchored to our foreign exchange earnings, to job creation, but also to government revenue. And I want to use this opportunity to send a message to what the provincial minister, to the energy minister said, noise making, excessive noise making. Our message is that we have worked hard and quickly in 3 years, 10 months to reconstruct the mining sector, brought some mining assets which were not in production for 47 years back into production. I'm talking of Kalengwa. There's a reason I'm raising these issues. Brought assets such as 28 shafts, which were out of commission for 23 years. Now we have economic activity there. We have jobs there. Making sure we took out litigation in KCM. And now we have an upward projection in terms of production of metal there, the so-called red metal, the copper, and soldiering on towards 3 million tons. Mopani was in comatose, and we brought it back into life, and more investments have come in there. First Quantum was on their way out. We got them to stay. We were in court with them as government for 11 years, and we took them out of court. Now they've invested in S3, in Kalumbila, in the nickel mine, well over $1.5 billion. This is not a joke, fellow citizens. This is a serious journey towards our agenda to reconstruct the economy. What else in the mining space? Lumwana was on their way out. We sat with them on the table. Now Lumwana Barrick Gold is investing in a super pit, $2 billion of investment going in there. I want to tell you that next month, thereabout, I will be going to commission the Kansanshi mine revival. And tremendous work has been done there, and an increase in the production of metal. Why am I saying these things? These are things that answer to our vision of economic growth, and indeed for jobs, for business opportunities, and for treasury income, so we can support free education. MP Chisamba, thank you for mentioning that. Free education comes from money that we generate from the growing economy. And I'm here to say to the noise makers, as the Minister of Energy called them, and it's a small group of people sitting in an empty tin, making a lot of noise, and not really focusing on work. First Quantum, contrary to what those noisemakers are saying, that we have given tax relief, tax waivers to a mining company. No, mining companies, no. First Quantum is the largest single taxpayer in this country. Single, paying a lot of money. And we want Mopani, as it revives, to come through to the same levels KCM. There's a reason I'm explaining this. To put things right, that our revival agenda is bringing not just growth of the economy, it's bringing tax revenue from the mining sector and other companies. That's the message I'm sending here. And now, to grow the economy, we realize that we could not do it with the same energy source that we had, hydropower. We love hydro, it is green. But the drought that we experienced, the worst drought in living memory, led us to realize even more the importance of two things. One was to farm not just using the rain, but to irrigate. Secondly, so we could secure food security, if I may say it that way. Secondly, we needed to bring energy diversification in the electricity area so that rain or no rain, we could generate enough electricity to support our economic growth agenda. I hope you are following the issue. Now, to grow in the mining sector, we need electricity. To irrigate, we need electricity. To run our factories, we need electricity. The Chivombo M-phase here, which the Minister for the province talked about, we need electricity. And I'm glad to say to you, the people of Central Province, you are a special province. You are a special province. And we will work with this province, which I love so much, to accelerate the economic development of this province so it can contribute to the economic development of the country. That Chivombo M-phase, when we came into office, it was sitting as a warehouse only. Now we have batteries, car batteries being manufactured there within our time of 3 years, 10 months, and we're exporting batteries to 8 countries in the region from Chivombo there. Kwenyu, 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 kwenyu. Right? We are also manufacturing electric cables in Chivombo M-phase. Kwenyu. We are also manufacturing transformers, electric transformers, which we were importing in that M-phase. Amukambire ndigalombwa na ndimeja ambwambo. Ngonunka yabo jende ndigalombwa na. Ngonunka yabo jende. Gaza ima watuka yanye. Kwenyu. Now today we are here at this wonderful project. To commission 100 megawatts of solar, walking the path towards 1,000 megawatts of solar, clean energy here in Chisamba, not too far from Chivombo M-phase. Central Province, you are doing well. We can do better. What does this project mean? This project means jobs. At first, this project means more power, 100 megawatts to the grid. That's what it means. What else does it mean? It means we are now saving ourselves from carbon emissions. When I went into the control center there, I was following the presentation being made. And this project is contributing to basically making our environment greener by basically taking away carbon emissions. And I suggested there that this company, Kariba North Bank Extension, ZESCO, you must now begin to trade in that carbon that we are basically creating value out of from a power station. Additional revenue. Let's not leave money on the table. Let's not leave money on the table. Now, the more we do these things, the more carbon emissions we save. But let me continue what this project means. This project also means, as I said, jobs. This project means allowing our farmers in Central Province to irrigate. This is June. Remember, the president said he will not go again to any planting season. There's no planting season. Every month should be a planting season. Every month should be a harvest season. This power station contributes to irrigation so that farmers around here can now irrigate because they didn't have the power. Very important. Olo mulombo na nyogoto muyandi ulihi munyono. Minyono ya indirila. No. So, what is the meaning extent to of this project? This project means now we can keep the mines running. Those mines that needed additional power, we can keep the mines running. This project means that we can save water during the day, conserve water in our water bodies that drive or we use to supply water into the hydropower stations. Very important. That's the connection. We can now generate more solar in the day, save water in the water bodies, and in the night, when this power station is not able to generate more power, we can kick more power from hydro and release more water. That is the way a country is run. And we said this a long time ago, except people were not listening because they couldn't see it, they couldn't understand what we were saying. Things are organized. Things don't happen by chance. There's no abracadabra in running an economy. It's all about deliberate things that you do and calculated properly, intentionally, deliberately. That is the project you see. And our agenda, what else does this project do? This project now, and I'm here to direct that ZESCO, Kariba North Bank Extension, the power from here, a good portion of it should be retained here in Chisamba, here in Kabwe, here in Kapirimposhi, and Central Province, so that we can now make Central Province economic activity even better. A barber shop, a small barber shop owned by a youth must be able to operate. A saloon owned by a young lady, a widow, must be able to operate because they have contributed to this. That is the story. Ngumakanyi. That is the story. So that the people of Chisamba, the people of Kapiri, the people of Kabwe can see value in this power station which they supported before it was even built. So that Mwami Chamuka can see benefits and his people. Muchiberewe. Gamukwenyuna, gamukwenyuna, no bahimunyona, gamukwenyuna. Gamukwenyuna. Kwenyu? That is the issue. This is a beautiful story. This story is a beautiful story. Just allow us to tell it properly. Allow us to stitch it together properly. This is a beautiful story. Even if you have issues, even if you don't like some people, you have to like what those people do, such as this project. Honestly speaking, in the night, TikTok, 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 midnight, TikTok, just TikTok, Bunjaga. This is what we should be spending time on. Our question is that, have we done enough? No, we can do more. Let us work together to get our country to where it should be. And in the control center there, I was saying, we work towards electricity self-sufficiency, then surplus. Once we've met the domestic demand, what do we do with the rest of the power? We must export so that we can earn more money. I know some people are critical of exports. That is failure of understanding, lack of understanding business. We will reach a point where we generate enough power, and when we've done that for our local consumption, we must export so we can earn more money and grow the economy and bring more foreign exchange. That is why you have seen the kwacha stabilizing. It's because of the foreign exchange we're bringing in. Kwenyu. Right? That is how it works. The more of these solar power stations, the more we meet the local demand. Above the local demand, we export. If we don't export, another country in the region will take our market. When they take our market, we will be stuck. This is the story. Fellow citizens, I urge you to pay attention to what your government is doing, what businesses are doing like ZESCO. ZESCO is in difficult situation. It is the political people that put ZESCO in difficult situation by allowing ZESCO to trade at a loss. This government does not want ZESCO to do business at a loss. We are encouraging ZESCO, working with them to do business at a profit. Then they can do more. Then we will have electricity throughout the day, no load shedding. That's where we are going. I want to thank you, the people of Zambia, for being tolerant. The drought brought us a lot of challenges. Hunger, and nobody died of hunger. Now, after hunger, you answered the call to produce more food. Now we have the largest production of maize since independence, just after the drought. 3.7 million tons. The true figure is around 4 million tons of maize. I want to thank you for your tolerance, citizens of Zambia. I want to thank you for your answering the call, the president's call, to be a country of producers, not just consumers only. Because if you just consume, you just trade, who is going to produce what you trade and consuming? Let's produce. Atulime. Ologa garden kunza anganda katu tomato a garden ibuyo. You can do something. That is the issue. I want to thank the people of Zambia again for enduring the drought, but more importantly, for beginning to answer the call of being producers. I'm repeating. I know why I'm repeating. And some people say, no, we can't all be farmers. No, if you are not a farmer, be something else. Produce something else. Employ someone. Employ someone. This project, I'm glad, ZESCO MD, that you are working on phase 2. And we want phase 2 to move quickly also. We want to come back here to commission phase 2, another 100 megawatts. Because you have the fixed infrastructure, you have the transmission lines. One of the reasons we can't put solar everywhere because our network, our grid is limited. Now when we have transmission like this, evacuation lines like this, let's maximize production. That is why the second phase of 100 megawatts leading to 200 megawatts here is a good story. At this point, I want to thank Stanbic, Chief Executive. Thank you for partnering with Kariba North Bank Extension, a subsidiary of ZESCO. Thank you for partnering by bringing money on the table. I do understand 70% of the $100 million ticket was raised by Stanbic. This is the partnership. Congratulations, Stanbic. Continue doing that. Last week, I think it was Thursday, my colleagues from State House, I called all the bank chief executives to State House and we had tea together. We sat there, I said to them, I want you to bring more money into the electricity sector. Yes. So that they can sponsor or fund more projects like this. And we agreed with all the bank managing directors in this country. The president sat with them in State House. That's how this president works. I'm not a president who is sleeping in State House. No, we are working there. That place is a workstation. It's not for enjoying power. I hear some people say, State House, you go there to enjoy power. There's nothing to enjoy. There's hard work there. There's a lot of hard work there. So the banks committed, and Hichilema, the chief executive of Stanbic, was one of those who came, and I'm very happy to see that you are walking the talk, chief executive of Stanbic. Please continue doing that. I also asked these banks that they must lower the interest rates. The fuel prices come down. Right? The meal prices are coming down. Inflation is coming down. We expect interest rates to come down as well, so that we can lower the cost of doing business. We can lower the cost of putting up a project like this. On one side, the cost of money. On the other side, the improvements in the technology. And I'm here to stand and say it very clear. The next phase of 100 megawatts should cost us less than $100 million. It should cost us around $70 million only, because the technology in solar has gone up, the cost has come down. Therefore, the next 100 megawatts should be around $70 million as opposed to $100 million. That's what I'm expecting. With the lower cost of money, interest rates, this project will have a lower cost, and then we pass that saving to the electricity consumers, to the marketeer, to everybody, to the farmer. That's how it works. What a beautiful story. More power stations must come, small households. Even as citizens, we must put solar on our rooftops so that we stop or we reduce consuming ZESCO or other players' electricity. Then the electricity we release, we will put it for mines, we put it for Kabwe, we put it for Kapiri, Serenje, Mukushi, we put it for the country. That's my appeal to the people of Zambia. Do your part. The government is working hard. Do your part. Then the country will be better. Very simple. Thank you to Power China. Thank you to Power China for partnering with Kariba North Bank Extension, ZESCO, Stanbic in this project. That partnership is also anchored on the Zambia-China partnership, which is allowing these projects to happen in our country. So government to government, China, government to Zambian government, we are working well there. Then business to business, Power China, ZESCO, Kariba North Bank, Stanbic, they are working here. Those are the partnership. Then Chief Chamuka and the people of Chigonkomene, my fellow headmen here, that is your part of the partnership by making this property available. The story goes on. I think I've told the story in the way I wanted to tell it. Please, people of Chigonkomene, people of Chamuka, protect this business. Look after this business. We don't want to come back and find that somebody stolen the fencing there. Somebody stolen something here. Look after this asset. It is yours. It is working for you. Community, this is your project. This is our project. This is Zambia's project. I think I want to end here and end by saying, with the words, the messages we have given, and those spoken by others, we now, my honor, really my honor, on behalf of the government and the various stakeholders, my honor to officially declare this Chigonkomene Chisamba 100 megawatts solar electricity project officially launched. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
President, sir. Mr. President, sir, as you are seated, kindly receive the presentation of this gift from the representative of Power China, Mr. Tiang Hangjuin. This is a token of their thanks to you, Mr. President, sir. Thank you, Mr. President, sir. It is now my honor to call upon His Royal Highness, Chief Chamuka, to give his vote of thanks.
Your Excellency, the President of this great Republic of Zambia, my fellow Royal Highnesses who have come to give me support in this chiefdom, ali mwintopa bulemu kuba mashali bangu bonse bene mpongo bakuro establishment batushindikisha nko bali kuno besa abamanduna bonse alimwi abantu bonse bakwachamuka kuno kutalika ba MP bamanduna abonse bo besa ndamulumba. Mr. President, sir, allow me to ride on the protocol which has already been established. Your Excellency, I would like, on behalf of the people of Chamka and Chisamba, wish to first of all express our heartfelt condolences to the Lungu family, the nation of Zambia, for the untimely demise of our 6th Republican President, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. We are aware of the pain that the family is going through, and I would like to mention that their pain is our pain. The people of Chamka, the people of Chisamba would like to thank you, Mr. President, for your good leadership during this hard time. You managed to unite us, even to create peace as we are mourning. My humble appeal, therefore, on behalf of the people of Chamka and Chisamba to the Lung family is that of encouraging them to find a common ground with government to allow for the repatriation of the remains of our 6th president to Zambia, so to put him to rest in a country where he was born and led his people as their president. It is very clear as custodians of culture that when we have lost a member of the family, first of all we bury, and after that we do like in Lenje, Kuyola Kalota, or in Bemba in Samboriamfa, where we discuss things that are attached to that. This aside, Mr. President, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you and to state that on the 17th of June, Mr. President, all the 29 Royal Highnesses in Central Province received the motorcycles to use at the palaces. This is going to help us provide good administration in our chiefdom. As a listening president, we have been following news also. We would like to thank you, Mr. President, for allowing for the deferment of Bill 7, 2025 to allow for wider consultations. This is a very good quality of leadership because you have given the people of Zambia an opportunity to participate. Now I go straight into my vote of thanks. Today marks a historic moment not just for Chisamba district, but for our entire nation. I stand before you representing the Chamka Royal establishment with immense pride as we commission what I understand is the largest single-site solar plant in all of sub-Saharan Africa outside of South Africa. This is our achievement. This is Zambia's achievement. To our leader, Mr. President, your government's commitment to resolving our energy crisis has made this possible. With the selection of Kafunga Luvala village as home to this continental landmark, you have shown faith in our people, and we shall forever remain indebted for this honorable gesture. To my fellow chiefs, where other solar plants are being constructed like Chief Choma in Southern Province, Chief Mailo, and Chief Mawumba, today proves what's possible when we as traditional leaders embrace progress. Just as our ancestors wisely managed the land, we must now wisely develop it for our people's benefit, while ensuring environmental protection. This 100-megawatt giant now feeding our national grid is just the beginning. We have already seen over 1,200 of our sons and daughters employed. New skills learned that will last generations. Business growth from the opportunities created. But we stand ready for more. With this plant now operational, we expect more stable power for homes and businesses. Rural electrification through the subsidy connection to be prioritized in our area. Twamulumba va president mukwinga mwambai amwimalaiti atochala mchisamba kwambai vantu vesu kabasebensesha mwindirishe amoyo ubotuli. New industries attracted to our area with employment opportunities, greater development for our people. Let me be clear here. We shall protect this national asset as fiercely as our ancestors protected this land. This solar plant is not just panels and wires. It's the future of our children. To other chiefs watching me right now on TV, I would like to say this. See what we have achieved together. Your land too could host such transformative projects. The time for hesitation is over. Zambia needs every chiefdom to step forward for economic development to ensure that our country becomes climate resilient. Mr. President, we the people of Kafunga Luvala, Chisamba, Chamuka, and Central Province pledge our continued partnership. With the phase 2 of the 100 megawatt in the offing, we are ready to make this the solar capital of Africa. In closing, remember this day when people said Zambia couldn't lead in renewable energy. Today we prove them wrong. The sun has always shone brightly on our land. Now we are finally harnessing its full power for our people. The President, leadership, you have been meeting us as chiefs at State House, and you have put a solid plan where you have said, I'll be meeting you chiefs twice in a year. And you have been calling us, we have been meeting. And you have been urging us, encouraging us to offload land for development, for solar power. And this is what my people, my headmen, and us have done. We have offloaded 209 hectares here for this power generation. But, Mr. President, Alimu, you encourage the locals to participate. I would like to mention here that starting August, there is a local company, the Zambians, that are also going to commence the construction of the 200 megawatt solar project in Lifambula village here in Central Province in Chamuka, Chiefdom. We have another company which is also going to start in September, putting up a 57 megawatt here in Hichilema. So as a chiefdom, we have set up aside land which is capable of producing 600 megawatts of solar energy just to support your vision and to ensure that we are part of the solution because we are part of governance. We cannot afford a situation where we allow only you to lead because you are our leader and we shall continue supporting you. Swevo sovene chamuka. Twalinga kwelete kwambai tumuletele gift. Maybe ngombe kwambai tumupe. Ononda langirisha ndachana kwambai ngombe nkoshiri. Shingi. Elo shivo tukuinda sho tuchite. Okay. ono ndambira abantu bangu kwamba ono ba president ni gift nshinje nga twabapa inene kwinda ng'ombe ndachana kwamba gift ba president njenga twamupa indawo ng'ombe indawo shonse nkusenga bo balesa bene balengi balichulwa inshi kwamba bamupe life in abundance, bamupe guidance, bamupe protection, bamupe shonse nshomuyanda. May whatever you touch be blessed so that you continue leading this country muvotu. May God bless this solar plant. May God bless Zambia. May God bless you, our Republican President. Together we are building a brighter future, and together we are strong. Thank you, Ndamulumba Nonse.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our program this afternoon. As we close, we shall rise for our closing prayer from Chaplain Chisama of ZNS, which will be immediately followed by the national anthem led by the children of the Danford Chirwa Secondary School. Chaplain, sir.
Shall we pray? Our Father who art in heaven, thank you, O Jehovah, for being with us. We have seen, we have touched, we have